Hello, welcome everyone to our program today. One thing I've been trying to do with our programs is to highlight organizations who are making a nice contribution to the Pittsburgh area. And with us this morning, we have a really wonderful organization from the greater Pittsburgh area here. It's the Big Brothers, Big Sisters of the greater Pittsburgh area. And I'd like to first welcome our guest today, and I'd like to start with the Chief Community Affairs Officer, Tom Baker. Welcome, Tom.
Thanks, Ray. Thank you so much. Thanks for having us, and thanks for being a multiple-year Big Brother with us. We appreciate all of your volunteer work with Big Brothers.
Surely. Do you want to explain a little bit about your responsibilities at Big Brothers?
Sure. So I've been with Big Brothers as a volunteer for 15 years. I've been working with the organization for the last 9, and we make sure that volunteers know that there's the opportunity to serve in our organization. Last year we had 1,483 bigs through our program that got involved and served and made a positive difference in the life of a child here in our community. We also make sure that families know that there's the ability to sign up their kids, especially in our community-based program right now. We're always enrolling kids 6 to 13, especially girls. So families may be watching at home that have daughters that they would want to get involved. We'd love to work with them to help them get involved in the Big Brothers, Big Sisters. I get to do our volunteer trainings, which is a lot of fun. All of our outreach, speaking at fun events, and making sure that we have good partnerships and good connections here in our region. It's truly an honor to get to work for our organization and work with great people like we have on the show with us here today.
And you brought a couple of your colleagues with you today.
Absolutely. So yeah, we've got Melissa Seaman, who you know well. Melissa was your site-based coordinator for a few years for you and Zach. So Melissa does a great job in our site-based programs. And then Maggie is the program manager for our Mentor 2.0 program here at Brashear High School in the city of Pittsburgh.
And you had mentioned earlier that there are basically, you call them three core programs?
Yes, so there's the 3 core programs. 52 years ago when Big Brothers, Big Sisters started here in Pittsburgh, it was just the community-based program where a big brother would pick up a little brother, a big sister would pick up a little sister about every other week and go and spend time together in the community for 3 to 4 hours. The kids in that program are 6 to 13 when they get involved, as I mentioned earlier, and they go out and experience good things together in the community. So as of 17, 18 years ago, that was still all what Big Brothers, Big Sisters did. And then we brought on the site-based programs, the school-based programs that you've been involved with for the last 3 years. And the Mentor 2.0 program is going into its senior year. Literally, it's the 4th year of the Mentor 2.0 program at Brashear High School. Okay. So we're very happy to have 3 core programs that we're really proud of.
Melissa, do you want to explain a little bit about the site-based then?
Yeah, absolutely, which you're very familiar with. So we run site-based programming in a variety of ways. So the core one being Middle School Mentor, which you participated in, that currently we partner with 7 schools, with Pittsburgh Public Schools and actually 1 charter school this year, which is new. And we also run some corporate mentoring partnerships where companies actually basically foster a school and the children get an opportunity to go to that company and see what work life is like in an office building. We also run a couple high school and college partnerships where either high school students or college students mentor either elementary school children or middle school children at their local school in that neighborhood. But really today we're focusing on Be a Middle School Mentor, and really just with the school year gearing up, we are in desperate need of volunteers, so really focusing in on trying to serve as many kids at those 7 schools as we possibly can.
Yeah, you mentioned it's site-based, but you also have partnerships with
Yes.
businesses where you go out into the community. And one thing we did when I was working with you, we actually went to PNC Park.
Yes, we did.
And it was a nice tour. We went into the
It
dugouts
really
and
was.
to the locker rooms. So, of course, Big Brothers, Big Sisters is looking for volunteers. So it's nice for the bigs and it's nice for the volunteers. It's not just an activity for the kids.
Absolutely.
But as adults, we can really enjoy it as well.
Absolutely.
I believe the tour guide that day told us that was the most enthusiastic he ever saw a young person get about being in the locker room. When we saw McCutcheon's locker, some of the young ladies that were in our program got very excited about being in the locker room, which it was very fun. And those kind of shared experiences are going on a daily basis with our program, with the site-based program, Mentor 2.0, and the community-based program. So those kind of lifelong memories, and they're things that we as the bigs, hold on to forever, and same with the kids in the program.
And Maggie, the program you're working on is relatively newer compared to the other 2, correct?
Correct. So the newest program we have within Big Brothers Big Sisters is called the Mentor 2.0 program, and it's a program that we run at Brashear High School, which is in Beachview. And the object of the program is to guide the student through high school, graduate high school, and foster what that looks like after high school. So whether that's college, career, military, job placement, helping that student navigate that process is what the object of the program is.
Okay. And Tom, you work a little bit more with the traditional program. Do you want to explain that a little bit more in depth?
Sure, yeah. I mean, we do have the 3 core programs. Community-based, for that program, volunteers are 21 and over. We have About 2/3 of our volunteers are young professionals here in the region. The other third are parents, grandparents, empty nesters, folks that decide, especially for empty nesters, they've raised their own kids and they get them out of the house, and then this is a nice way to give back and just spend time with a child that they care about. And sometimes I kind of equate it to being like a cool aunt or uncle, because you come, you pick up your little, you do fun stuff together for 3 to 5 hours, and then you drop them off. So for folks that might be watching at home that are empty nesters or grandparents, this is a great opportunity to give back through any of the 3 core programs. All kids want to do the program. So are we looking for a child to say, yes, I'd like a positive adult male role model who will help me aspire to bigger dreams in college and a 4.0 GPA? No, but we at least want the child to say, yeah, hanging out with an adult friend sounds like fun. I could get into that. We do some fun stuff together. So it isn't court mandated. It's not forced upon them. For volunteers that are interested in the program, it really is something that the kids want to do, that the families, are getting them involved with. It certainly takes a little bit of a process for volunteers to get involved. There's also paperwork and interviews that go in for the families too. So all sides really have to show an earnest interest in getting involved in the program. We do make sure that we train, screen, vet clearances for any families that might be watching at home. We really do know that your children are incredibly important to you, incredibly important to us, and the faith that you instill in us as an organization is really powerful. It's amazing. So we take that very seriously, and we make sure that we really get to know volunteers and make sure that they will be a good fit to be in the program. We don't just kind of pull names out of hats for any of the 3 programs. We really get to know the volunteers. We get to know the kids that are getting signed up for Big Brothers Big Sisters, and through that we make strategic matches that are based on shared interests, based on personality, based on, for the community-based program, living within 15 or 20 minutes together. This is a big county, it's a big community, and we know that from point A to point B might be an hour from one point of our county to the other. So we want to make sure that for a volunteer and for the child that they live within about 15 or 20 minutes of each other to make sure that it's a successful match.
So within Big Brothers Big Sisters, you have like a match specialist then who will interview both the little and the big, and then find a nice match for both of them.
The same way that you, Ray, you and Zach worked with Melissa for the first 2 years, and then Kim the last year of your experience at Brookline. In the community-based program, you have a match support specialist as well. That person talks to you, your little, and their family once a month, checks in, make sure everything is going well, make sure that all the stories are the same too. Child safety is our #1 priority as an organization, so we want to make sure that we're putting kids, families, and the volunteers into good, healthy, safe situations. So they do talk to all 3. After a year, it goes down to quarterly. Those calls there are really for support and making sure that you have guidance and what you need, the resources to make sure that the match is successful. We also provide a lot of free tickets. You as a big and little get a free membership to the Y of your choice, which is a nice opportunity, and the generosity that's shown by our community to donate tickets, to donate opportunities to bigs and littles is really incredible.
I was going to ask about different activities. It must be quite diverse then, activities that the bigs and littles do.
Yeah, Melissa's a community-based big as well. There's all kinds of fun things you can do together. A lot of my, years with all of my littles, it's been a lot of sports, certainly, playing sports together, going to sporting events, getting to take, for some of my littles, getting to take them to their first Penguins game a couple times over, their first Steelers game. There was a season where Eric and I, who's now 18, about to be 19, there was a season where we went to 5 Steelers games completely for free because of the generosity of good people here in our region in Pittsburgh. So
it's fun for the bigs, not just the littles.
Oh, absolutely. And it's really about exposing the kids to new experiences. So a really simple and easy outing that I had with my little sister is she loves going to her local library, but had never been to the big Carnegie Library in Oakland. And so we spent an afternoon, we went to the library down there, we got some books out, and then we toured around Pitt's campus because she has driven by the Cathedral of Learning 1,000 times and was always curious about what was in there because it looked like a castle, and was just curious. We got to go through the nationality rooms, and it was a really simple, easy, but enriching experience for her. So absolutely, the kids are really just looking to explore a little bit more and to have experiences that maybe they haven't had the opportunity up until then to be able to do.
I was just thinking, I suppose the littles can participate in both the on-site and off-site programs. In other words, the ones at the schools a little bit more academically oriented, or not I should say academically, but more career oriented, making them think about high school and perhaps college or a career.
Correct. The Be a Middle School Mentor program and the Mentor 2.0 program really focus a lot on the Pittsburgh Promise and life. From Be a Middle School Mentor, what does life look at for me after middle school? So what high school do I want to go to? do I want to go to my neighborhood? Do I want to go to a magnet school? What's of interest of mine? And then Mentor 2.0 is, a major focus is life after high school. So, what do I want to stay here and go to college? Do I want to go to a career school? Do I want to go to the military? So it's once again, like Melissa just mentioned, it's exposing them to life outside of their own little community. So there's a bigger world out there. What can we expose them to make the best of their life for themselves, and what can we do to help them get there? In
the past, I think a lot of times people would have just thought of the word big brothers, but now it's big brothers and big sisters.
Right.
So you're actively looking for girls.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's almost 50-50 between big brothers and big sisters, so we have a lot of great volunteers of both genders that get involved. Our program brings people, I think, from all backgrounds, all kinds of different people together, which is an awesome thing about Big Brothers, Big Sisters. So we're definitely always actively recruiting bigs of, big brothers and big sisters, and same thing with the kids. We always tell families that if you have a daughter to sign up or a granddaughter to get involved in the program, it likely will move a little bit quicker, just because we have more boys that are oftentimes signed up for the community-based program. But we always encourage people to just call in, check in with us, and we'd love to get them involved in some fashion through our program. I will say with Maggie's program, we were all really happy that it's going into its senior year, and it really is focused on making sure that not just having a friend, but having in some ways like a career counselor or like a guidance counselor, and their own personal one-on-one guidance counselor. Yeah. That's really kind of the point of Mentor 2.0, and Maggie now, through 3 years of that program going into its 4th year, there's 12th graders at Brashear, 11th graders, 10th graders, 9th graders that are about to have these incredible people in our community that spend time with them on a regular basis. So in her program, we don't call them littles, because as she always says, if you started out in 9th grade, you would not want to be called a little. As somebody that was about 6 feet tall in 9th grade, I get that. Now, if you're used to it, if you get enrolled at the program when you're 7, 8 years old and you've been a little your whole life, it's all good. But for the kids that get enrolled right at the beginning of 9th grade, that would not
mentors and mentees in the Mentor 2.0. So it's a little bit of a different vibe for that.
Yeah. But I'm sure it'd be nice to continue the relationship even beyond high school. So I'm sure you'll be able to get some feedback on their careers and where they're going after high school as well.
And you actually have the option that if you start in 6th grade with Be a Middle School Mentor, Brashear is a magnet school for a lot of our students. So as a volunteer, we have an interest that you could continue from 6th grade all the way into high school. So that match could look up to a 6-year match. Right. If you're interested and continue in the site-based program, we have that option. What we kind of say with all 3 programs is that we have availability for whatever you're looking for. So it's twice a month in the community, once a week at school, once a month at school. We can offer you a commitment to give back to a student and give back to the community, whatever you're looking for. We can provide that to you.
What kind of time commitments are there for the bigs, the mentors?
Yeah, so we can maybe we'll go down the line for all three programs. So community-based. The goal within community-based is spend time together, roughly 3 to 5 hours every other week throughout the whole year. So it's the most time intensive. Now you get to go out and about and do all kinds of fun things together in the community. But out of the 3, that is the most time intensive program. But the commitment is to at least be in the program and to be staying here in the region for at least 1 year. Even though we say 1 year, the average match length is closer to 3.5 years, which is definitely really positive. But that's the basic requirements for community-based.
For Be a Middle School Mentor, it's 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the school, once a week on a designated day. So that day and time won't change for the entirety of the program, hopefully. And then the program runs typically from beginning of October to the end of May, right before Memorial Day. And like Tom said, we also have that 1 year time requirement, but obviously it's called Be a Middle School Mentor. So we're hoping that if you get involved with a student in 6th grade, that you're able to continue with them from 6th, 7th, and 8th grade is the actual hope.
Okay.
So Mentor 2.0 has the least time commitment, but you're still able to make a big impact. So it's once a week online for about 25 minutes whenever you have the option of the availability to respond to your mentee, and then once a month in person at the high school, either on a Tuesday evening or on a Wednesday evening, depending on the time of what grade level that your mentee is in. And that's also like Be a Middle School Mentor, that's from October to May. So you're meeting 8 times in person throughout the school year, and then once a week on this secure platform for about 25 minutes.
Okay. And how many schools are you involved in, like on the middle school program and on the high school program?
So Be a Middle School Mentor is at 7 schools. Okay. So we're all around the city. We're in Lawrenceville, we're in the north side. We have 2 programs in the north side. We have 2 in the South Hills And we have one in the West End, one in Lawrenceville, and one in Oakland. So
Okay.
we're spread around. And we offer a variety of lunchtime and after-school programs. So we have 2 lunchtime programs, and then the rest are after-school programs. So hopefully, being able to catch people if they can only give up, that once a week, and their boss allows them to leave work during their lunch hour and get over to a program for 45 minutes, then that's really convenient. And thankfully, those programs are a little closer to downtown. So folks who are working in the city, who then travel outside the city to get home at the end of the day, they're able to do it right within their workday, so that it is a little bit more convenient. And then for the folks who live closer to the other neighborhoods, to be able to finish your day maybe a little bit early, and then go mentor, and then be able to go right home from there.
In the high schools, you're in?
We're just at Brashear High
Brashear
School,
right
which is
now?
in Beachview, just at
Okay,
Brashear,
okay.
yes.
Actually, just yesterday, I attended a program, and it had to do with Pittsburgh partnerships in the Pittsburgh Public Schools. And they did a survey with the parents over the summer. And the question was, what are your kids doing for the summer? Or what, actually, it was more specifically, what do they do when they come home from school? And the vast majority was computer games, TV, and the person who was monitoring the program said, unfortunately, perhaps the biggest majority was kids who just had nothing to do. So just make an appeal to all of the parents and grandparents out there. If you have a child or a grandchild who is interested in some after-school activities, this is just a wonderful program. Again, whether it's academically or socially, to help their development, their character, and some positive activities. And you are looking for bigs and littles, mentors and mentees.
Yes.
Yeah, so last year, and it's partly because of a good thing. I mean, we've been going up numerically every year with number of children served, which is great. We've been here 6, 4, and 9 years, so we've been here a good bit, and in all those years it's been going up. So a couple years ago it was 1,220 kids involved, then 1,311, 1,400. This last year we were 1,483, which was the most, again, in agency's history. It's a nice thing when literally every year is a record-setting year for the organization. This year looks to be close to around 1,600 kids served through Big Brothers Big Sisters of Greater Pittsburgh, which will be the most by far. We've been recognized at the local level, but also the national level as the National Agency of the Year 2 out of the last 5 years. So Ray, you've been part of a winning team. We brought the title home 1 of your 3 years, but we're very happy and very proud of that. We've got a great staff of 30. As somebody who helps get to pick the amazing people that we get to work with, there's a lot of places to work in this world that we want people that have great attitudes. So I hope, Ray, in your experiences as a volunteer for 3 years, you came across a lot of fantastic human beings that work with our organization. We've got a great staff. We're out of East Liberty, but we do cover all of Allegheny, Washington, and Greene counties. So any city residents obviously watching this show on PCTV, we serve you. But if you know folks even further outside, within the county or Washington or Greene, we do serve all 3 counties.
Great. And we have been putting up the Big Brother Big Sister website on the screen, and the phone number, and also Tom Baker's email address. He loves to receive emails.
Sure, yeah. Please feel free to email, yeah.
Send him a message. And please get in touch with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Again, I could attest it is a very wonderful organization.
And Ray, we want to thank you. Maybe a lot of viewers don't know this, and I don't think Maggie and Melissa knew this before today, but Ray and I are brothers. We are fraternity brothers, and it was actually our fraternity that led me to sitting here with you today, which is interesting. So Ray and I are both fraternity brothers of Lambda Chi Alpha, and through being a big brother in our fraternity, I actually enjoyed that experience. I had some step-siblings as a kid, but was an only child for a good chunk of my life, and being a big brother in our fraternity, I really enjoyed that. So the month that I graduated from college and finished up Lambda Chi and Millersville University, I looked in a phone book and looked up Big Brothers Big Sisters, and that's what got me a match with my little brother Preston when he was 10, and he's now 26, almost Melissa's age. And he's doing great, and he's a first-generation college student, one of my favorite people in this world. So in some ways, had it not been for our fraternity and us being brothers, I might not have ever gotten involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters. So I'm really fortunate that our fraternity kind of instilled that upon us, and being a big to him and to E-Robs, to Eric, and to EJ, who you know pretty well.
Yes.
EJ and Zach and Melissa and I used to always hang out at Brookline together at the middle school program. So Ray, we're really thankful to you and your 3 years of service and the good relationship certainly that you and Zach had. He's a good guy, you're a good guy, and we appreciate all your involvement.
Okay, well, thank you, Tom. Thank you. Any other comments before we close?
No, really,
If you're looking for an opportunity to give back, like we said earlier, there's a opportunity for everybody out there, whether once a month, once a week, once a month. Again, once a month, once a week, once a month, whatever you're looking for, whatever age group, area you're looking for, we're happy to help them.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Ray.
So please get in touch with Big Brothers Big Sisters of the greater Pittsburgh area, and thank you for joining us today.